Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FortressCraft Evolved. I'm AxionEvolved, and today, I don't think we're going to have a super long episode, but I did want to get some updates out about kind of what's been going on. We're down here in the Frozen Factory. Things are looking a little bit different. Before I get started, do me a quick favor. Scroll down just a little bit. Hit that subscribe button. I'm so close. We're getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. Help me get there. And I can only do it with your guys' help, and you've been so supportive. And I know we can get there. So with that out of the way, let's hop right in this episode. So last time we were working on this guy, right? And we have decided that we're going to leave that last block to finish this because we're worried about the Cryoplasm threat. Now, what some of you may not know, if you don't check out the community tab, I actually started streaming a little bit. So I got a lot of comments on the last video talking about preparing infrastructure as opposed to just fighting the mistakes, right? And I agree. I think it takes a little bit more time, and I'll tell you, we're not there yet, but I'm going to be streaming a little bit more often. So, you know, check your notifications if you want to come hang out in those streams. I'm doing a lot of the behind the scenes work. I'll eventually probably start doing some other stuff too, and, you know, I just want to throw it out there in case anybody's interested in checking that out. But now to talk about like what we've been doing in this down here basically. So first thing I want to point out is I've got these little signs on the ground, right? And those are important because if you go look on them, they've all got coordinates on them. Now these coordinates correspond to where the Cryoplasm spawners will spawn once we finish this guy, right? And I said before, we've got a couple options, right? Number one is we make a wall, and we're doing that. That's kind of, a wall is pretty mandatory, but I don't want to just leave our fate to one big wall, right? Because that'll only get us so far, and it kind of forces us, if that's our only defense, it forces us to shift our priorities a little bit to what's going on in here, right? So what am I going to do with these Cryoplasm spawners? Now I've got them in all 8 corners, right? So you can see. Now the Cryoplasm spawners, if you look at the center block here, we're at Z is 0, X negative 60, right? The Cryoplasm spawners go off in 320 blocks from each in each direction, right? So if I go over here and look, right, I'm going in the, let's see, the positive Z direction. Well, this will stay at X negative 60, Z 320. Now, something I also found out is that the Cryoplasm spawners always spawn at negative 240, right? So 10 blocks higher than we are now. So I have prepared a little surprise for those. If you saw the last episode, you may know where I'm going with this. But if I just move my hotbar a little bit, you'll see we have 8 chargeable explosives. Now, these are not little baby chargeable explosives. If I put one down, that's a level 6 chargeable explosive. Now, I was talking to the people in the chat during my live stream when I was kind of doing some of this work down here. And I think they said that the radius on a level 6 explosion is like 30 blocks, which is insane, right? That's so big. So, the plan is, I'm going to go, in this episode, you guys will see this, I'm going to go to all of these points, all of these coordinate locations, all those at 240 or lower. Lower is actually better. We don't actually care about 240, but we care about below 240, right? And I'm going to detonate chargeable explosives. What that'll do is that'll make giant pits, maybe even uncover some open air under, who knows, right? And with those pits, when the Cryoplasm spawners go, we will buy ourselves some time, essentially, right? Because I don't want to delay too longer, or too much longer. I'm probably going to actually, you know what? I'm probably going to complete this episode so that we can at least get moving a little bit in terms of progressing with the stuff down here. But it's all about, you know, buying ourselves time, right? So before I do that, though, let me kind of show you what work has been done here. Now, you'll see that we have the ceiling network is getting a little bit more robust, and that's giving us way more light. So I think that's pretty nice. It's all very it's all the same setup where we've just got an electric light, some batteries. How's that battery? I can't tell the, I mean, I guess it doesn't render the charge, but every one of these batteries, so they're all 64 apart. They've all got an electric light, and I think it gives pretty good visibility. It's obviously not rendering the light past the draw distance, but when you're in the light, it seems to work pretty well. And I've also decided on the wall design. So we are going to be using the radiation chevron. And I just like it because it's kind of loud and it's kind of, it almost looks like something's like not rendering in. And there's a hole we can fix. I didn't want to use like this mithril box for the ceiling as well, or for the wall I should say. It just kind of seemed like it would be just a little bit like too much of the same color. This at least doesn't, this isn't part of the palette for this, it's part of the game. So, you know, it's pretty nice. We could just go and, you know, just casually build. And I've actually, this is some of the stuff I was doing during the live stream. So also a great time to talk and just answer questions, talk to all the viewers, you guys potentially, if you're interested, if you wanna join up. Now this looks like we're done here, so I'm actually gonna take that because we need to put that somewhere else. But I will grab this guy and we'll leave that there for now. But yeah, so the plan is to put that wall all the way around, and you can see looking better in this direction, not as good over here. I'm probably going to have to take out a bunch of these crystal deposits. I mean, maybe not. We'll see. But you can see it working up there. Almost done here. Got a few more areas to go where I don't even have the wall extended out to. So, like I said, still work to be done, but I don't want to just sit around and not kind of progress and take... This video is already going to have taken a while to get here. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'll do like a short little... I don't know, a little montage of all these explosions, but yeah, I'm going to go do that and just sit back and get ready for 8 huge explosions. All right, and before we cut to montage, let's talk about it a little bit, right? So here's the first one, -60, -320. I want to light this and actually kind of have a little commentary. I don't know how, I mean, I know I said what the radius is, but I don't know what that really means. So I'm going to kind of get back a little bit. But I really want to kind of experience this explosion with you guys. Oh my God. Holy. All right, how deep is this now? Okay, so that was about 15 blocks. So that's not too bad, right? So the Cryoplasm spawner is going to be way up here, and then it's going to have to fill in this whole area. So that's not too bad for a level 6 explosion, I don't think. So maybe it was 30 or 32 blocks in diameter versus radius, right? So yeah, so I'm going to go repeat that for the rest of the locations, and I'll meet you guys back in the middle. And that is the last one. They still make huge craters. I mean, this is huge. This is like 15, almost 20 blocks down. So with that out of the way, let's hop right back to the center, and then we'll talk about what's next. All right, so now that we got these all blown up, I think the last thing to do is to start this. I'm going to place the last block, and that's going to kick everything out. And I think once I do this, you will see a message pop up in the wherever the messaging is saying that the spawners have spawned. And they should correspond with these coordinates. So let's see. All right, so that's down. It's getting its power. I think we need to wait for it to spool up all the way though, right? And do I have... I think I have the hard rock grinders. Okay. So while that is doing its thing, I think our power is fine. 7%. Okay, I think we need to go... Let's see. Oh, maybe it needs to be online. C5 offline. All right, well, let's wait for that to power up, and then we'll head down and put those hard rock grinders down. Yeah, you can see as it's powering up, it's clearing the area so it can put the cryoplasm spawners. I bet if we flew out there, so it's not showing absolute coordinates, it's just showing the coordinates in relationship to where this thing is. So this guy's up. I bet if we went out there, oh yeah, okay, so now it's spawning them. I bet if we were to go out there, we could actually see the cryoplasm spawning. But so now that that's going, let's run down to here, because we still need to power this stuff up, right? We got it ran over here, we just didn't power it. And I think the powering is going to be pretty simple. Let's put down something like this, and then we will literally just beam the power. And let me get by, please. We will beam the power, and then we will beam the power. That's doing its job. That's exciting. It might take a little bit. It looks like it will take a little bit. So let's go get the other one powered up while this thing's doing its thing. This may tax the system for power, but you know what? That's a risk I'm willing to take. Where is the hard rock grinder? Over here? Of course, I just like did not make any of this easy for myself. Let's just do this. It's going to take a ton of power, but that's going to do its thing. Yes, yes. Grinding, grinding. Such a cool animation. I do love the animations. For how old this game is, the animations I think are still pretty top notch. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, this is gonna be slow. I don't have a ton of power coming down this way. Honestly. Like, that battery's practically gone. So, this definitely could take a while. And while we're waiting, let me go ahead and show you guys who've never seen what goes on. This is the cryoplasm right here. That's the cryoplasm spawner. And you can see, it's actually spawning pretty fast. But there's kind of two types, like I said. In fact, we can scan some of this, I think. And then we might be able to get some of that. We may even be able to get the spawner itself. Okay, we already got that. But there's two kinds. The cryoplasm that just falls, much like I just did into that hole. The type that falls, and then the type that kind of tendrils out. So, I don't know if it'll get too much closer to the base. Like I said, it kind of goes... It will fill this up, right? This will just keep going. And it eventually will get this far. But I don't know if these tendril ones will go farther than this until I do something kind of significant when it comes to the research or build some key machinery, right? So it does give you a little bit of a chance. And you can see there's our wall, and there is that, right? So the wall is paramount because you can practically still see it, right? And what's nice is the C5 will tell you where the closest cryoplasm is. So if you look here, you see how it's pointing that way? So it's telling you, and if you hover over it, detected at 282 meters. So That's how you know where it is and where it's coming to. You know. All right, so let's let's finally go finish all the stuff down below, and then we'll call this an episode. All right, so this guy is done with the chromium. I'm going to kind of get rid of some of that stuff right now. This is infrastructure we will probably still use, but I think this needs a hopper. You know, I've done this, I can't tell you, a couple times before. And there we go. So 2,000 chromium ore. Wow. All right, 2048 chromium ore. There you go. Let's take that. And it does look like it deletes a layer. So we already know, let me think. We already know that we can get a 3x3 face over here if we need to. So that's no problem. Now, the two things we have to take into account are the shaft to get the stuff up and the shaft for the power, right? And we're going to need two separate shafts. So we're probably going to end up using this shaft. I mean, this is already here. This will be great for power, but we may end up, you know, making a couple other elevators to get the ore up, really. I guess we could use matter movers. That's very power intensive. But at the same time, lifts are dangerous when it comes to the frozen factory, because that cryoplasm, it can fall and it can get in the way and block the lift, right? So what I had to do in previous series, or in the previous season, was actually block the shaft with glass and stuff, so that the cryoplasm couldn't fall and like get to the bottom and get stuck here, right? So this guy will be done in a bit, and then when that's done, we'll hop back and we'll go to the surface. All right, and it looks like the molybdenum is done, so we will take that as well. And just like that, well, we've at least got the ore. We're definitely not done yet, but I think this is gonna be pretty easy over here. We've got, you know, if I excavate this, we've got a whole ton of 3x3 faces that we can attach our drills to. So no worries there. So let's run back to the surface and let's finish this. Let's finish this research finally. All right, so we're back here. We need one ore of each, and I think this is the, yeah, this is like the one ore. All right, so let's do this. One. Put you in. We'll do this. Put you in. And research large scale vein extraction is complete. Okay. So now let's see what we got. So geothermal power is a huge one. What does that give us? I feel like that we need to do this. Conduit, we need geothermal generators, pipe coaters. This is so we can get chrome lenses. We 100% need that. So let's just start that. And then I don't know. Oh, of course, it doesn't like let us see anything else. This is good too because it's using the copper and the tin. So wow, that's huge. We could do the arc smelters, the arc smelter upgrades. Let's see what those cost. We're not gonna do it today, but I just want to know, right? Oh, do I have to unlock it here? Process that. Cryoplasm. All right. Arc smelter upgrade. Trencher. We'll just unlock all of this, obviously. And basic cryoplasm defense. This is what I was talking about. We need to do this next. And that's child's play, right? Cryoplasm Lancer. This actually kills the cryoplasm. And what's nice is when we do, so all of this stuff is like made to go together, right? if we do here, let's look back on here. So you saw that in this, in the Lancer, right? You can boost it with freeze on. What is freeze on? Well, again, for those of you who've never seen this, if you're using, once we get the particulate filtration, we get particle, like this whole process right here is basically a series of machines that you hook up that sucks in the surrounding gas. So you build one of these setups in the cold caverns, you get freeze on. You set up one of these in the toxic caverns, you get, I think it's chlorine, and you set one of these up in the magma caverns and you get like the sulfide or whatever they call it, right? The cold cavern ones makes bottled freeze on, and with bottled freeze on you can attach it to all kinds of things, the geothermal or the generators, the defenses, all that stuff, and it like hypercharges it and makes it go faster. So I want to have an extensive, like a very extensive bottling plant for all of the freeze on, because late game too, when we get to the GPS that we're going to have to build, you can also use freeze on to cool those down and make it shoot faster. And the goal is to kind of build a very, very fast firing GPS gun. So that's all super long term though, and I'm glad we've got that done. It's already all on its way. It'll be done probably by the time you guys see the next video. So with that all out of the way, thank you all so much. I don't know, I plan on making this short. I don't know what it edited out to be, but it might be a full length one. But anyway, be sure to stop by the stream, turn on notifications, come hang out in the streams. I'll post about it on my Twitter. I'll put another community post up before I go live again, just in case anybody wants to hop in. I enjoyed interacting with all the viewers on the last stream, and I think with more people it'll be even nicer. So thank you all so much. I hope you're enjoying the series, and we'll see you in the next one.